Begin by bending the paperclip as shown. Hold one end of the paperclip flat against the side of a popsicle stick. Then, secure it in place with a small piece of tape. Leave the other end of the paperclip exposed, because this is where the rubber band will hook onto. Attach the propeller by firmly pressing it onto the popsicle stick. Now we're going to make, for lack of a better word, the wings for the helicopter. Encourage the students to try different shapes and sizes. However, whatever shape they choose, it must be symmetrical. Place the propeller assembly on top of the wings, leaving the side with the paperclip exposed on top. The wings should be positioned well below the propeller hook. If the wings are positioned too high, it may interfere with the propeller hook or even the propeller itself. Use a small piece of tape to attach the wings to the propeller assembly. Here I see some tape sticking out over the edge of my wings, so I go ahead and fold it back so it doesn't interfere with the rubber band later. Fold a 6-inch piece of sport rubber in half. Then tie the two ends together using a simple overhand knot. This knot works well because it will let us adjust the size of the rubber band. You can make the rubber band smaller by pulling on the ends of the sport rubber, or make it bigger by pulling on the loop. Hook the rubber band onto the paperclip and the propeller hook. Be sure that the rubber band's knot is placed toward the bottom of the helicopter near the paperclip. If it's elsewhere, the rubber band will not unwind rapidly. To wind the helicopter, point the top of the propeller toward you and wind clockwise. Look at how the rubber band coils to tell when it's done. After the rubber band becomes completely coiled, it will begin to coil in on itself again. I call this double coiling, like here. Continue winding until the rubber band becomes completely double coiled, and then keep going even further until it becomes triple coiled. To fly, pinch the top and bottom of the helicopter with each hand. Then, release the propeller first, and then let go of the bottom, quickly, one after the other. If both hands are released at the same time, the helicopter may tip and fly in a random direction. Or worse, it may fall and sputter around, like this. You may deliberately fly the helicopter horizontally by launching it the same way you would vertically. Students are limited to one propeller each. However, they may make different sets of wings for different flying experiences and simply transfer the propeller and rubber band from one set to another. The hurdle that I see most students struggling with is how to fly the helicopter. Tell them it takes a little practice. The most common errors I see are the students releasing their hands at the same time, releasing their hands one after the other, but not quickly enough, and simply not winding the propeller as much as needed. Another problem that I encounter is a slow propeller. This usually happens when the rubber band is in contact with something it shouldn't be. Bits of tape and paper, or the rubber band not being raised high enough from the popsicle stick can cause it to not unwind rapidly. In terms of constructing the helicopter, students usually need help with tying the rubber band and attaching it to the helicopter. Finally, keep the helicopters away from things like buildings and trees. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this Instructable.